Yo, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another video. Hope you're having a great day, great night, whatever time you're watching this video. To be honest, you probably clicked on this video as a beginner of the gym. So, welcome to my channel. Smack the subscribe button. I'm going to be giving you a 3-day plan, push-pull legs for beginners. Disclaimer, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a personal trainer. I have 0 qualifications in this fucking industry. I'm just a dumbass that lift heavy stuff. This is the stuff that I enjoy, the stuff that's worked for me, the stuff I think is good, and I hope it could help you. Because we all want to get jacked like this guy. But if you want to see my credentials, here's what I looked like before, and here's what I look like now. And I just want to make it very aware, there's quite a lot of confusion whenever it comes to getting online plans. I'm not going to charge you anything. This video is completely free. I'm going to tell you everything about the plan. I'm not going to try and sell you any shit. With any plan on the internet, make sure you have the understanding that genetics play a massive role into building your physique. Obviously, to build the physique, you need to train properly, good form, good everything. You need to sleep well and eat well. Obviously, there's 3 main factors of it. However, you have to realize that your personal genetics take a massive part of what you look like. So doing this plan that I'm about to give you might not give you a chest like mine, because your stronger point could be your back or your triceps or your biceps, or you could have insane fucking legs. Yeah, some of you might do this plan and get a better chest than me because that is your genetic strong point. So don't think because you're doing someone's plan you're going to look exactly like them. However, this has worked out for me from the beginning, and it helped a lot of my friends get pretty fucking jacked. My friend Noah, who I play Rocket League with in the other videos, he's developed a really fucking good physique and he looks awesome. But he looks really good. He started off with this plan. He still does something similar to this plan. But anyway, I seriously, I don't want to waste your time. I just want to tell you the information that you clicked on the video for. So, big part that a lot of beginners need to do more is warm up properly. So how I would warm up for a chest day. I used to do push-ups, couple sets of push-ups just to get the blood pumping. I don't do that as much anymore, but I still recommend to do it. I like to grab really light dumbbells, like 2 kilograms, 2.5, and do shoulder rotations just to get my rotator cuffs moving. I highly recommend those because getting your shoulders worked up, even though we're starting with chest, because they're still incorporated and you can still injure them through doing chest movements. And shoulder injuries suck massive dick. Really light side delt and front delt raises. And then as well, I lay down on the bench. The first exercise is flat barbell bench press. I get on the bench and I just bench the bar for a bit. Get the movement of the rep in my head before I start loading the weight on. Depending on how you grab the bar, depends on your wingspan, the width of your arms and shit. So just find something that's comfortable for you. Don't go too wide, don't go too close. Going too wide can hurt your wrist. Same thing with going too close. And also going too close can target your triceps a lot more than your chest. So I like to start off with heavy set. If you're doing a heavy set, build up to the heavy set. So if your heavy set is 100 kilograms, I know this is for beginners, but just just hear me out. You don't bench the bar and then put on 100. You'll put on 60 kilograms, bench that for a bit, 70, bench that, 80, bench that, maybe 90, get 1 or 2 reps, and then put on 100. Get yourself warmed up for it. Obviously, it won't matter as much because beginners won't be going as high, but still make sure that you got blood pumping and that you work up to your top set, because even though a beginner's weight isn't crazy heavy for someone who's been lifting for a while, it's still heavy to the beginner. Do you know what I mean? In terms of benching though, make sure you have a little arch in your back. You don't have to go too crazy like a power lifter. Feet firmly on the floor so you get good leg drive. When it comes down to bringing the bar, you don't want to have your arms like this. So if you're staring at me from bird's eye view, you don't want to do this and have your elbows like do you know what I mean? Like out here. You want to have them more tucked, like this. What I like to do is bring the barbell down just below my nipples, touch my chest. I always touch my chest. Good stretch and full range of motion, I think, has helped my physique the most. So start off with that and you'll stick with it the whole way and you'll have such good form. And after a while, you'll be lifting boss ass weight with fucking awesome form. So come down, touch bottom of my chest, and then as I push up, I'm also pushing forward up to my eye level. So bar starts in my eye level, comes down to my nipples, and then back up to my eye level. So it's not a complete straight movement, it's more like this. Obviously don't do that shit and fly backwards, but try and get this down before you start moving up weight progressively, because once, say you've been benching like this your fucking whole life, once you get to a good amount of weight, well, any weight's good depending on how much you weigh, what size you are, but once you get to a heavy amount of weight around, like, so we'll say 100 kilograms, if you're still benching like this, and you correct your form, it's gonna be harder to correct your form. Does that make sense? You're so used to doing this way that once you try and do it the proper way, you'll encounter some problems. Like you might not be able to lift as much because you're not used to lifting with proper technique. So then your ego won't let you drop the weight, so then you just stay with the bad form, and it can lead to injuries. Don't be a dick. The sets for my compound movements, which is the big movements. So the first set is a 4 to 6 movement. That will be classed as your heavy set, where you're trying to overload, get stronger. Then you drop the weight and do a set of 8 to 10 reps, more of a volume set. And then I always like to finish off with a set of 12 to 15. I call that an endurance set. You know, help the muscle endurance, makes your muscles last longer throughout the workout. You know what I mean? I like to incorporate all 3 types of sets. It's only 3 sets, so you do heavy, volume, endurance. However, I understand if you are a beginner like me, and you were stick fuck ass thin, you might struggle with the bar like I struggled with the bar, so it won't be easy for you to then do a 4 to 6 because the bar might be your max and you can't even reach 10 to 12. If that's the case, stick with the weight you can do. It's basically just a thing of just keep building it up, keep going to failure, push towards being able to do those sets. If you can start off doing those rep ranges, great, keep doing that, but just be aware that you might have to build up to it. If the heaviest you can go is 2.5, I'm in terms of like a really skinny person like I was. So if your max bench press is 2.5 on either side, so that's 25, you can get that for 4, and then you just drop it to just the bar and you can only get like 6 of that. You're obviously not going to be able to do a 12 to 15 unless you grab a lighter bar. It's just then taking the weight you can do and just pushing yourself to failure, and then you'll eventually be able to move up, because it's hard to do drop sets whenever your strongest is close to the weakest you can get the barbell. After that, we're doing an incline move. I love incline. Building up your upper chest just gives you so much of a fuller chest. You'll hear everyone say that. Depending on your incline, depends on what you feel the best. I see people, so say that's flat. I see people have an incline like this, and like this. Depending on how high or low you want to be, test out different ones, see what makes you feel the best. Mine is kind of high because that's what I feel best in my upper chest region. Don't go too high, otherwise it becomes a shoulder press and you're not doing any chest then. I prefer to do dumbbell for this instead of barbell because you get such a nicer stretch and you can get further down to then come all the way back up, and it helps with like balance muscles, and but dumbbell's so much better. I think it's the same as flat bench press. So say you're bird's eye, because I'm leaning forward a bit, don't press like this. Again, bring your arms in at an angle. Again, it's the same thing, affects your shoulders, affects your rotator cuffs. Again, that's one set of 4 to 6, strength set, then drop it for an 8 to 10, then drop it for a 12 to 15. If you're unable to do the heavy set right now, you can obviously do 2 sets of 8 to 10 and build up the volume, but don't feel you have to do one. If you don't want to do a heavy set, you can just do volume sets all you want. Some people aren't bothered about strength and just go for the aesthetic. Anyway, so those are the 2 compound movements done. We got a flat one and we got an incline one, which is awesome. Those are the only 2 chest exercises where I do incorporate a heavy set. Now everything after that is just 2 volume sets of 8 to 10, then a drop set of 12 to 15 reps. With the rep ranges, I think I forgot to say this, in terms of moving up rep ranges, doesn't matter if it's heavy set, middle set, last set. When you're doing a set, you're always aiming to beat the set by 2 reps, because that's the indicator of, okay, it's time to move up. If my 4 to 6 on flat bench press is 100 kilograms, every time I go to do my 4 to 6, every time I go to do the 4 to 6, even though it's a 4 to 6, I want to get that 100 kilograms up for 8 reps, because once I get it for 8 reps, I then can move up to 105 kilograms, and then I'll probably get that for 3, and then the next week 3, and then maybe 4, and then build it up until I reach 8, and then once I reach 8 with 105, then I go to 110. It's a safe way of building up the weight without ego lifting or getting an injury. And it goes the same with all the movements, all the sets. And doing it like that is always constantly telling yourself to push yourself. If you're just sat there like, oh, I got curls now, I need to get 8 reps, and then you just grab the 5s and do 8 reps and you're not tired, it's like, a bit shit, bro. Next is a chest press machine. Chest press machine is fucking awesome. I recommend you do it. My gym has one where you lie down, but in the video I'm using the one that I think most gyms have, or pretty much all gyms, is the one where you're sat upright. Get such a good squeeze on it. If you have access to a gym where it's got a different machine, like there's another one at my gym where you're laying down, if that's what you want to do, try that one, see which one you like the most. 2 sets of 8 to 10, then drop for a 12 to 15. The final exercise I like to do is cable fly. There's a machine for it, obviously, the fly machine. If you prefer that, for now, do that. but I prefer cable fly, so that's what I'm going to be recommending. You got to be careful though, because it's a free range of motion. You got to keep your elbows locked. I like to keep them locked at like sort of that angle. Make sure when you go back, you are constantly controlling it, because you just fling it back, the weight will pull back and could rip something, or you know, fuck something in your shoulder up, which is not what you want. When you squeeze into the middle, try and push your pinkies through each other and really squeeze your chest together, and then once it's coming back out, control the negative of the rep. And cables is really good because there's just constant tension on it all the time. Now I'm going to give you another chest exercise, but it depends on how you feel after those 4. After those 4, you could feel fucking tired. You don't have to do this. This is just an accessory. I'd rather give you more, and then you can always be like, no, I don't want to do that. I physically can't. I think I've done enough, rather than not give you enough and then you're like, well, that's shit, because I've done those 4 exercises and I feel like I can do another. If you feel good progression and you want to add in more with it, like another exercise, this is a good one that I like to do. Move the cables from the top down to the bottom. I call it lower cable fly. Lock your arms at an angle. I like to start off out wide and then come upwards and inwards, because if you just come straight up, you end up using more front delt. So outwards, upwards, and squeeze up the top again. Push your pinkies through each other, really squeeze a rep, and then control it on the way down. With this one, the weight you usually use for this one is quite a light weight. It's quite easy to then just use the momentum. Really make sure you're dragging it up, squeeze, and then come back down. Don't use momentum on this, because if you use momentum on this, it's basically useless. And if you do use it, by the way, it's 2 sets of 8 to 10 and drop for a 12 to 15. That brings me to the end of chest. Next up is shoulders. 2 start off shoulders, ladies and gentlemen. The first exercise is shoulder dumbbell press. 1 set of 4 to 6, then a set of 8 to 10, set of 12 to 15. Same thing with the chest. If you're not feeling the heavy sets right now, do 2 volumes and do an endurance set. This is the movement where lots of injuries can happen. This is a movement where people ego too much and half rep. This is one of the most half rep movements I've ever fucking seen in my life. Bring the dumbbells down at an angle. Don't be coming out like here. Shoulder problems, keep them in. You'll feel the tension on the front delt, which is where it is supposed to be. So after that, so basically how my shoulders are laid up, I do front delt exercise, then I do side one, then I do front one, then I do side one. So 4 exercises. So the next one is side delt dumbbell raises, or lateral raises as some people call them. I like to do these seated. Like with the other movements, really think about the path of your elbows. It goes the same for the dumbbell shoulder press. Think of the path of the elbow coming right in front of you and just focus on the path. A little swing and a little momentum isn't going to hurt anything or hurt anyone, especially when you get to the end of the set, when you just want to get those last ones up. That can actually be very beneficial. The sets for this are 2 sets of 8 to 10, then drop it for a 12 to 15. I see some people just keeping their arms completely straight and squeezing up. If that feels best for you, you can do that. I prefer, and I think this is a lot better, is drive upwards with your elbows. I hope the videos I took at the gym also demonstrate them a lot better than my fuck ass sat in a Spider-Man chair in my room. After that, we just want to go back to a front delt movement. Again, just volume sets, so 2 sets of 8 to 10, drop for a 12 to 15. Any shoulder machine you got in your gym that is pressing upwards. My one's weird. The one I have in my gym, it's awesome, but it's weird. It's like a Smith machine, but it's just got 2 handles. Even though it's a machine, you can sometimes move the path of your elbows, so just make sure your elbow path is perfect. Again, coming down at an angle you don't want to injure yourself. After that is it depends on your gym. So in the video you'll see my gym has a machine where I can stand up, grab these bars, and do side delt raises similar to the dumbbell one, but obviously a machine. And then my gym also has another one where you can be sat down and doing it. If your gym has that, I recommend you use those machines, because those machines are fucking quality. 2 sets of 8 to 10, drop for a 12 to 15. However, if your gym does not have that, an alternative that I suggest, side delt cable raises, because cables are amazing. They keep tension on the side delt the whole way up and the whole way down, as long as you control the rep. So you will see me doing it in the video. That is a very good alternative, maybe sometimes even a better alternative than the machines. 2 sets of 8 to 10, drop for a 12 to 15. That then brings me to the end of shoulders. We have the triceps, ladies and gentlemen, the muscle you want to grow if you want big arms. So the first exercise I do to grow my triceps is rope pushdowns on the cables. Probably the most popular tricep exercise on the planet. I think the ropes is best. Some people use a bar. I just think the ropes are so fucking goated. I lean forward a little bit. Keep your elbows locked down by your side. Squeeze your triceps as hard as you can when you get to the bottom of the rep. Nothing has changed. 2 sets of 8 to 10. Drop that for a 12 to 15. Please, please, please make sure you're getting a good squeeze at the bottom of the rep. You're not moving your elbows. So after that, I have dumbbell skull crushers, which are one of the best exercises 100% for building the long head, which is one of the main areas of the tricep I feel people need to target a lot more, because you'll see people with a good bicep, a good lateral head, which is the one you see on the side, but the back of their tricep is like flat because they don't work the long head. The long head is worked by pushing movements, by close grip bench press, by overhead stuff like the Skullcrushers, or you'll see people have ropes on the cables and they'll drag it up and then do that. You always need a long head movement that specifically targets it. For me, dumbbell Skullcrushers have done so well and helped me with mine. The dumbbell variation doesn't hurt my wrists. I tried to use a bar and that shit just wrecks my wrists. Whenever you are doing the dumbbell Skullcrushers though, make sure that your elbows aren't flaring out and you're doing that. You want to keep them tucked in and do the Skullcrushers like that, because then it targets this area more. 2 sets of 8 to 10, drop for 12 to 15. So say I'm laying down flat, I don't have my arms straight up and do that. I like to put an angle, as you'll see in the video, whilst you're doing the movement, the long head stays stretched, because if it's up here, you're not stretching it, whereas if you stretch it back and do the movement, you're getting a good stretch on it and it works it more. The only thing I will say, if your long head isn't crazy developed, you won't feel like you're doing much, but just trust me, just keep doing it, keep staying at it, keep going at good form, and it will start building. Whenever your long head is of a decent size, got a lot of muscle into it, then you'll start feeling it even more. So, and then whenever you have a good long head developed, the pump that shit gives you is vile. It's fucking nasty, dude. I'm gonna give you 2 more tricep movements. However, if by the next tricep movement you're tired out or you've done enough, you don't have to do the last one. As I said, I just want to give you one more. I just want to give you one extra one just in case you prefer it, or you want to do 4 exercises for your triceps, but 3 for a beginner I think would be fine, especially after the push movements. This next exercise I've been doing for a while now. It's incredible. I call it tricep cable crossovers. So with your right hand, grab the left side. With the left hand, grab the right side. So you got an X. Gonna keep your elbows down by your side. You can either grab the handles and do them, or you can I just grab the thing of the cable. Like, I don't bother with handles or anything. After that, or you can swap that out for this one, would just be single arm tricep extensions. So basically same thing like with the ropes, but instead of doing a crossover or with the ropes, you literally just grab it, hold on to the bar, as you'll see in the video, push down, get a good squeeze, keep your elbow still. Single arm movements, single leg movements, single anything movements are also really good because they help prevent muscle imbalances. Everyone's gonna have muscle imbalances. You're always gonna have like a better arm or a better bicep or a better pec, so don't worry about that. Don't get too upset about that. Everybody has that. My left tricep is a completely different shape to my right. All those tricep movements are all 3 sets. 2 sets of 8 to 10, then drop for 12 to 15. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have enjoyed the video. I hope it was helpful. If you do try it out, let me know how it feels. Let me know if there's any exercises you prefer, or if there is an exercise that works out for you, leave a comment down below, or just any advice really on anything. Don't feel free to ask me. My fitness account and my main account are both in the description. Check out all the other links whilst you're down there as well. Make sure you smack the subscribe button. Please leave a like on the video, and yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Oh, peace.